Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about labor variances. In my last video, I have taught the material variances. Now in continuation to that, we are going to deal with labor variances. Now why do we need labor variances? Similar to material variances, for example, we have various kind of materials. In my last example, I have told you about the lemonade, right? For lemonade, we need lemons as well as sugar, and the mixture changes, the rate changes, we had fixed some standards, the standards had changed, because of which there were various kind of variances. Similar thing happens with labor as well. Now, labor, you will say, ma'am, labor to labor hota hai. Nahi, labor nahi hota hai. Labor may be different categories hote hai. There are various categories of labor which is involved. For example, let us say you are going to a restaurant. Now, if you are going to a restaurant, वहाँ पे chef भी है, वहाँ पे waiter भी है, right? For simplicity, we are just considering two kind of labors. There is chef and there is waiter. Now, you tell me, will the payment of chef and waiter be same? नहीं, same नहीं होगा. Why? Because one is a skilled labor and the other is an unskilled labor. Waiter के लिए I can hire somebody, but chef के लिए he has to be a qualified person, right? Similarly, let us say in college itself. Now you are learning cost accounting. Now I am a faculty for cost accounting. Sure, can I just be a BCom graduate and come and teach BCom student? No, I cannot do that. The college cannot hire only a BCom holder to be your teacher. He or she has to be either a professional like chartered accountant, CS, etc., or he or she has to be doing PhD or done PhD. Then only we can teach you. So there is one category of people, that is us, and there are other people in the admin department as well. Now they also have different qualifications, right? So the requirement of each post, the total labors which are there in an institute are of different categories. That is why we have different kind of labors here. Now coming to the variances. Ma'am, variances kaise honge? Variances will be there because there will be change in the number of workers than what we have decided. There will be change in the working hours than we have decided, and there might be a change in the rate as well. Let us take some example. Let us take the restaurant example. So again the same table, we are going to follow the same table. Once the table is ready, all our variances will be calculated very easily. So let us say there are two categories, chef and waiter, right? Hours. Let us say per day a chef is required to work 10 hours and the waiter is required to work 8 hours. Correct? The chef has to come early for cutting the vegetables and all that. So he is expected to work 8 hours and the waiter is expected to work, chef is required to work 10 hours and waiter for 8 hours. The rate that we are going to pay, let us say the chef we are paying rupees 10 per hour and waiter gets rupees 8 per hour. The waiter gets rupees 8 per hour. So per day, what is the amount that I have to pay? I have to pay 100 rupees to the chef, and to the worker to the waiter I have to pay 64 rupees, and my total would be 164 rupees. Got it? Now let us take the actuals now. Now actual hours are of two types. Actual hours are of two types. One is the actual hours worked and the other is the actual hours paid. Now I will take hours paid first. Let us say the actual hours paid are 50, 55 and waiter we have paid for 35 hours. Got it? The hours worked, ma'am, what is the difference? Beta, these 10 hours and 8 hours which I am expecting them to work, won't there be any idle time in this? There will be, right? You need normal breaks when you are working, right? Let us take classes only. When we are giving classes, after every half an hour, 45 minutes, you need a 5 minutes break, right? What is that? That is the fatigue break, right? Similarly, you have lunch breaks. All these breaks, when there is no productivity, right? That is known as idle time. Now, there is idle time in the picture. So, should I say, let us say out of 10 hours, 1 hour is my idle time. So, will I tell the waiter, will I tell the chef that no, you are supposed to be paid only for 9 hours? No, I have to pay for that idle time as well. So, that is why when we are calculating the hours paid, this includes the idle time as well. But hours worked will not include the idle time, right? Now, this detail is for 5 days. This detail is for 5 days. Now, 5 days, every day, 1 hour is the idle time or the normal break which is given. So, if 1 hour, so 5 days, 5 hours are gone in idle time. So, hours work would be 50 and 30. Right? Now, 50 hours and 30 hours is the time or the hours which is actually worked for 5 days. The rate which we are supposed to pay or the rate at which the chef and the waiter has agreed or we have to pay is, let us say, rupees 15 and this at rupees 6. So, what is the amount that I need to pay? The amount that I will have to pay is hours paid into the rate, that is 55 into 15, that is 825, and 2 hours waiter, it would be 35 into 6, that is 210. Total 1035 rupees I had to pay for 5 days. Now can I say again the same thing which I had repeated in material variance? Can I say that 1035 minus 164 is the variance? No, I cannot say that. Why? Because the base is not same. This standard is for 1 day. The output is 1 day. Here this payment is made for 5 days. So I will have to convert the details for 5 days. Now let me convert the details. I am writing here. Standard details for actual hours. Now hours. Now coming to hours. 1 day, if the standard working hours are 10 for the chef, then for 5 days it would be 10 into 5 divided by 1, that is 50 hours. Waiter, 8 hours 1 day. So 5 days it would be 8 into 5 divided by 1, that is 40 hours. Correct? Now coming to the rate will remain same. The rate will remain same, that is 10 and 8. So what is the amount that we need to pay? The amount that we need to pay for 5 days should have been 50 into 10, that is 500, and 40 into 8, that is 320. Total 820 rupees should have been my standard payment for 5 days. But we have actually paid 1035. That means we have paid more. Correct? Now let us jump to the variances. So I have consolidated all the details whatever we have explained so that we get space here for the variances. These are the standard for the actual days and these are our actual figures. Now coming to the labor variances. First labor variance is labor cost variance. Now labor cost variance similar to material cost variance. We were supposed to spend 820. We have spent, or our total cost on labor is 1035. So how much extra or how much less have we paid? We have paid an extra amount of 1035 minus 825. So 825 minus 1035, that is equal to 210. We have paid extra 210 rupees adverse. Since we have paid extra, it becomes adverse. So what will be the formula? The formula would be, it is 820. So this would be 215. So what would be our formula? Our formula would be standard cost minus the actual cost. If the answer is negative, it becomes adverse for us. Actual cost. Coming to the second formula, that is labor rate variance. Now similar to materials, for change in the material cost, what were the two reasons? Change in the material price, and the second is change in the quantity. Similarly, what is the reason for change in the labor price and labor cost? One is the change in the rates, and the second is in the change of the hours. Now first we are going to look at the variance which has happened because of the change in our rate. So coming to the first worker, that is chef. Chef, we were supposed to pay rupees 10, but we paid rupees 15. Good or bad? It is bad for us. 5 rupees extra we have paid. For how many hours? Hours paid or hours worked? We have paid extra for the hours, actual hours paid. So that is 55. So that is equal to 55 into 5, that is 275 adverse. Got it? Next, coming to waiter. Waiter, we were supposed to pay 8, we paid 6. Good or bad? Good for us. 8 minus 6. 2 rupees less we have paid for how many hours? For 35 hours. So that is equal to 35 into 2, that is equal to 70 rupees favorable. So ultimately, we have an adverse effect because of rate of 205. So how will you frame the formula? Again, the same formula which we have done in material. Standard rate minus the actual rate into which hours? Actual hours paid. This is our labor rate variance. Coming to the third variance, that is labor, जो मटेरियल में मटेरियल यूसेज वेरिएंस था, that is equal to your labor gross efficiency variance. Now coming to gross efficiency, now if you see we have written gross efficiency, that means there is one more formula for net efficiency. Now we are dealing with gross efficiency. This will again consider the hours paid. Hours paid only we are going to consider. So coming to the difference because of the change in hours. Chef, we were supposed to pay for 50 hours, but we have paid for 55 hours. Good or bad? It is bad for us. So 50 minus 55 into which rate? Actual rate or standard rate? Standard rate. Again the same reason which we had dealt with in material variances. If we write the actual rate, what is happening? We are bringing in the effect of change in the price also. We just want the variance because of the change in hours. We don't want to bring in the change of price. That is why we write here the standard rate of 10. That is equal to 50 adverse. Next, coming to waiter. Waiter would be, we should have paid him for 40 hours. but we paid him for 35 hours. Positive, good for us, into the standard rate of 8 rupees. So 40 favorable. 40 favorable. So we have 10 adverse. The net effect is 10 adverse. Now the first check that we have is material cost variance is equal to labor cost variance is equal to labor rate variance plus labor gross efficiency variance. That is, labor rate variance is how much? 205 adverse plus labor gross efficiency variance 10 adverse. What we get is 215 adverse. Is it equal to our labor cost variance? Yes, it is equal. So this is the first check which we are going to do. Coming to the other variances, let's go to the next variance. For the time being, I am erasing these two variances. Yes, coming to the fourth variance. The fourth variance is something which is not there in your material variances. That is idle time variance. Idle time variance. The variance or the extra payment that has happened because of the idle time is known as the idle time variance. Now you tell me, idle time, it is good for us or bad for us? It is obviously bad for us. We have to give it, we can't help it. But we are paying extra for the non-productive hours, right? So for the production, it is adverse. That is why your idle time variance will always be adverse. लिख लो ये note करके, your idle time variance will always be adverse. So, for chef, how many hours of idle time? 5 hours, right? 55 we have paid, but worked is 50. So, 5 hours into which rate? Again, the standard rate. If you write actual rate, you are bringing in the effect of change in price. So, into 10. So, because of idle time, you are paying rupees 50 extra. Coming to waiter, waiter also 5 hours, 35 minus 30. Into the standard rate of 8, that is 40 adverse. So, because of the idle time, you had to pay extra rupees 90. This is idle time variance. What is the formula? Idle time, or you can say hours paid minus hours worked into the standard rate. This is your idle time variance. This variance is not there in the material. Obviously, there won't be any of this sort of variance in your materials. Coming to the fifth variance, which is labor net efficiency variance. Now, this variance says that in gross variance, you have calculated the difference with hours paid. That is not my efficiency. My efficiency is for the hours worked, right? So that is why we brought in another variance, which is net efficiency variance. Coming to the chef. The chef has worked for 50 hours. Also, we were expecting him to work for 50 hours. So is there any variance? No, there is no variance in the hours. Into rupees 10, so my answer will be 0. I was expecting a work of 50 hours. He has worked for 50 hours, so the variance has become 0. Coming to waiter. Waiter, I was expecting him to work for 40 hours, but he has actually worked for 30 hours. Good for me or bad for me? It is good for me. Into rupees 8. That is equal to rupees 80 favorable, right? So that is a total of 80 favorable. Can you tell me the formula? the formula would be actual hours worked minus the standard hours into the standard rate. Correct? This is your formula for labor net efficiency variance. Now, the second check which we are going to do. Your labor gross efficiency variance is equal to idle time variance plus labor net efficiency variance. What is our idle time variance? Our idle time variance is 90 adverse plus net efficiency variance is 80 favorable. So that brings in 10 adverse, which is equal to our labor gross efficiency variance. So this is the second check that we are going to do under labor variances. Now, till now we have done 5 formulas, right? There are 2 more formulas which are again equivalent to your labor variances. Now let us see those formulas. The 6th formula that we have is labor mix variance. मटेरियल में भी मिक्स था, सिमिलरली लेबर में भी मिक्स होता है, राइट? If I have an expectation of working 90 hours, I want out of this 90 hours chef to work for 50 hours and waiter to work for 40 hours. Now, if the hours worked is, let us say, 80. If the hours worked is 80, now if 90 hours are worked, chef should work for 50 and 40. So if 80 hours are worked, in what should be the hours for chef and waiter? That is known as revised standard hours. We are going to calculate something called as revised standard hours. So first is chef. Now, if we work for 90 hours, 50 hours should be for the chef. If we work for 80 hours, how many hours should be for the chef? That is equal to 80 divided by 90 into 50. That is equal to 44.44 hours. Now coming to waiter. Out of 90 hours, the waiter is supposed to work for 40 hours. So if the total time worked is 80, how much work should be done by the waiter? That is equal to 80 divided by 90 into 40. That is equal to 35.56 hours. This total should be 80 hours. So, if the standard 80 hours are worked, out of which 44.44 hours should be worked by the chef and 35.56 hours should be worked by the waiter. But what is the actual working? 50 hours and 30 hours. So that means the chef has worked more than our mix and the waiter has worked less than our mix. Let us see the labor mix variances for the chef. As per our revised mix, the chef should have worked for 44.44 hours, but actually he has worked for 50 hours. You can do it for the hours paid also, there's no problem. I would always suggest, whether you take hours paid or hours worked, please write down a note. 50 hours into which rate? Again the standard rate, because we are talking with reference to the hours. The effect of change in the price should not come here. So that is equal to 44.44 minus 50 into 10. That is equal to 55.6 adverse. The chef has worked more. Coming to the waiter. waiter should have worked for 35.56 hours. He has worked for 30 hours into the standard rate of 8, that is equal to 5.56 into 8, that is 44.48 favorable. So the net effect due to change in the mix is 11.12 adverse payment. We have paid extra. Because we had changed the mix, that is why we had to make an extra payment of 11.12. So can you please derive the formula? The formula would be revised standard hours minus the which hours? 50 and 30. This is hours worked. Into what is this? This is standard rate. So this is the formula of labor mix variance. The last variance is labor yield variance. Now, this is again similar to your material yield variance. Now, here with 80 hours of working, we have worked for 80 hours in 5 days. Am I right? Actually, by working for 80 hours, how many days of work should have been done as per our standard? See, here our output is the days. In many questions, you will get the output also, that if the worker has worked this much, he has made 400 units. Right? So, similarly, here our output is the number of days because we are talking about the restaurant business. Now, coming to this. As per my standard, he is working, if he is working for 90 hours, he is covering 5 days. Right? So, if he is working for 80 hours, he should have covered how many days? He should have covered 80 divided by 90 into 5 days, that is equal to 4.44 days. So actually 80 hours work is equivalent to 4.44 days. But with this we had survived for 5 days. So it is good for us, right? We have whatever work they do in 4.4 days, we have got an output of 5 days. That means with the same number of hours, we have actually able to work for 5 days in a restaurant. Again, I am explaining you the meaning of this. 80 hours if the waiter spends, waiter and chef, they will be able to run the restaurant for 4.44 days. But in our case, they have worked for 80 hours and the restaurant has worked for 5 days. So it is good for us. Yes or no? Since it is good, our yield will be better or it will be a good yield. Coming to our yield. 5 days minus 4.44 days. So our yield is better by this much into what is the standard rate per day. We have spent 820. Our standard rate per day will be 820 by 5 days. That is equal to 0.56 into 164. That is equal to 91.84. Good or bad? Favorable. It is favorable for us. Got it? So this is our labor yield variance. So can I derive the formula? The formula would be actual output. Here our output is days minus standard output for actual input. Our actual input was 80 hours. 80 hours, what should have been my standard days? Into our average standard rate. So this is the formula for labor yield variance. Now let us say the last check that we are going to do, that is C. We have labor mix variance and labor yield variance. Add these two. Labor mix variance 11.12 adverse and mix variance 91.84 favorable. So ultimately, what is my answer? My answer is 80.72. Favorable or adverse? Favorable. Please go and check. This will be equal to your labor net efficiency variance. This will be equal to your labor net efficiency variance. There might be a change because of the decimals. So these are the seven variances that we are going to calculate under labor. Next video I will be uploading on for fixed and variable overhead variances. Thank you.